Hello and welcome to the Cat Lady Podcast, episode 38. This is a real episode, not the pseudo episode that I had last week. I apologize for that. There was some crazy stuff happening on Periscope last week, and I was a mess, and I don't know, I just felt like I should check in, so I just did that quickie thing, but yes, I'm not leaving YouTube. Someone emailed me asking me, please don't stop using YouTube, so I'm not, of course. Just was trying to do something quick. I've never had that bad of a spamming on Periscope, so we just roll with it, and yeah. So, welcome if you're new. Thank you for checking me out. Hope you like what you see, and thank you so much if you're returning and sticking with me, because things get a little crazy, especially the last month or so. It's been pretty hectic. Holiday stuff, I've been all over the place. I've been lacking show notes and missing things and whatever, but you know, it's a podcast. It's fun. I focus on mainly fibery crafts, so knitting, sewing, well, I guess that's not fibery. I don't know. Knitting, spinning, some crochet. I sew, DIY, blah, blah, blah. So I have a cold. Christmas cold. Yay. So please forgive me for that. My children are home, so who knows what will happen. I put a movie on for them. They're watching a Christmas movie in the other room, so we'll see how that goes. But usually there's interruptions, so I have notes. It's episode 38. It's December 30th, 2015, so this is the last podcast of 2015. I'm somewhat approaching my 1-year podiversary, which is crazy. It's still 3 months away, so the end of March is when I started. So, but man, it's already, that's not that far away. So I'm pretty crazy that I really stuck with it, and even started to begin with, really. So, this week we're gonna talk about, let's see, podcast news. Lots of podcast news. A little bit of knitting and sewing, and a tiny bit of spinning. There hasn't been a lot of crafting going on just because of the holidays, number one, and number two, because camp's coming up. And I will, at the end of this video, there will be probably a large segment about winter camp. So if you are here to learn about winter camp, if you're on my team, which is Team Snow Leopard, you can, if you don't want to see the podcast, you can go to the end. At the bottom, I will put the timestamp after it's uploaded and everything. I will tell you what time the winter camp part starts. So you can fast forward to that. And then if you are here just for the podcast, then you can skip the end about the camp. So, and if you want to watch all of it, have at it. So, let's see. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Ravelry, and YouTube. Just do a search for the Cat Lady. That's 2 T's, CATT. That stands for Craft All the Things, is what my hook is there. Got my little Cat Lady shirt on today. And let's just jump right into it. So, podcast news. I have some introductions this week. I kind of skimped out last week and didn't talk about the introductions. So, I only have 2 this week, but that's fine. I will say hello to Celestia22, who is Tanya. And Tanya has been a friend of the podcast for quite some time, and she's one of my chatty VKN buddies as well. She's from Canada. She's a very sweet friend that I've met through the VKNs. And she is also a moderator of this group now. I added her, I don't know, a month or so ago to, if I need help with anything, if I'm ever out and about or busy or something comes up, she has access to edit posts and do some fun stuff like that. So anytime you see anything you need to moderate, Tanya, feel free. And then there is Knitty Tammy, who is from Colorado. She learned to knit 8 years ago. She's learning how to make socks. Good luck. I'm still in the learning process of socks as well. And she's hoping to make a sweater, which, again, that's something I'm trying to learn to do too. I've made one, so I'm going to do my second sweater coming up soon. So best of luck to you. We're in this together. So if you want to come say hi, come see the introductory thread in Ravelry. If you're not part of the Ravelry group, come join in. That's where I do all the giveaways. That's where I post a lot of the podcast stuff, podcast news. There's coupon codes. There's self-promotion thread if you have an Etsy store, etc. And there's just lots of stuff going on in Ravelry. So Facebook, I kind of just bounce all my Instagram stuff off there. I post the link to the blog. Oh, I have a blog. I haven't haven't been updating it the last couple episodes. I got to get back to that. So my blog is thecatlady.blogspot.com, and really it's just show notes and the link to the Ravelry group and the YouTube. So I don't know. I might just have to. I don't know. I don't know if I want to keep that or not. So anyways, so giveaways. Let's jump right into that. Pretty sure I put it in here. My box full of goodies over here. Okay. So we currently have a giveaway for a convertible style bag. It starts off, this is from Chasing Acorns. She has an Etsy store, but it's currently, she's currently not stocking it. She kind of focuses on actual local shows. Her bag is also going to be sold, so if you are local, it'll be sold at, what's it called? The Little Yarn Shop in Saginaw. And it starts off as a flat, just little pouch. And then it snaps on the bottom. To make a box bag. Perfect for a sock project, a hat, start up a shawl. I probably stuff a whole shawl in here, but yeah. Nice little size, and then it's got the drawstring with the little closure. And a nice little handle. So, go to the Ravelry group, find the thread for the Chasing Acorns giveaway, and tell me what you would use for this bag. A lot of the answers have been winter camp, so that makes me excited. Everyone's pretty excited for the winter camp, so yes, come check that out. I will keep this up until January 13th is when I'll do the drawing. Oh, and I just realized something else. I have not heard back from a giveaway winner, so I will post their name here because, alright, well, let me see. Let me see if I can talk and look it up at the same time. No, I didn't write it down. That's the problem. I did not write it down. So I have to go back and look at my old video to see who the giveaway winner is. So, giveaway winner here for the CATT winner. Contact me. You have another week or so to couple weeks. Okay, so yeah, a couple weeks, so I can consider it again next week. So I can send out your prize. And then the Mint Rain hand-dyed yarn giveaway, the winner has contacted me, and I told her I was going to send it out after the new year because she's overseas and postage and craziness. So she has been in contact. So CATT giveaway winner, contact me. So anyway, so there's that giveaway. And then coming up next week, so next episode, I will post a new giveaway for a large project bag by you so-and-so, and she's going to send it to the winner. So instead of sending it here and then me sending it out, it's easier just to send it once. But I should have a picture of it. Amazing bag. So this is a picture of the bag. She saw it and she said it had to be for the cat lady, of course. So there's this awesome bag. It's a large project bag. And it's, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's fabric, but it looks like, you know, that carpet bag kind of thing. But if you've never seen a you so-and-so bag, I have one here. This is a medium bag, I think. So pretty much a little bit bigger than this. So it's nice and thick. It's probably interfaced. It's got a nice pocket on the inside. Little handle. And then a little zipper pull. The little sheath on it. It's kind of hard to see, probably. Okay, there it is. So that's what the bag will look like, except for that bigger and that really awesome tiger in it. So I'm going to open up the thread for that next week, and she will also offer a coupon code, so I got to get with her and get what her coupon code is, and she will offer that coupon code for a month. And I'm not sure how long I'll keep the giveaway open yet. Those kind of just whatever. Whatever I decide. And then I think probably when that one's done, so probably closer to February, I will be giving away a bag from the Tangled Skein CA. She does these really cool knot bags. This is a sock size knot bag. And it'll be a winner's choice in her shop. So she's got some listed up there, and she also is open to custom orders. So if you have a color scheme you like or a certain fabric you like and she's got some, or you know, she could tell you, show you, talk to you about what fabric she has, you can work out a deal on what kind of bag you like. So it's custom. She has a coupon code going on in her store right now for the Cat Lady podcast. It's CATTLady15, that's 2 T's, CATTLADY 15, for 15% off in her Etsy store, $10 minimum purchase, and that's good until March 31st, 2016, so the length of camp, so that's cool. Mint Rain hand-dyed yarns, we just did the giveaway for, has the coupon code TheCatLady, again 2 T's, THECATTLADY, 10% off until tomorrow. So as long as I get this uploaded today, it'll still be good tomorrow, December 31st, 2015. So those are all the giveaways. Almost last in podcast news, I have a Yarny Wishes thread. If you have a yarn wish, it was kind of based off the Instagram Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted. Come check it out if you want to grant some wishes or get a wish granted. I've gotten my wishes granted, and I will show you one of them. But some other wishes that are floating around right now is we have 2 people that are asking for fiber for spinning. So if anyone has some spare fiber laying around that they'd like to send to another spinner, check out that thread and get in contact with them. Another one is Hedgehog Fibers yarn or Dancing Dog Dyeworks yarn. And I'd love to see hers granted because she's the one who granted my wish. And then another one is for Bright Stripy Sock yarn or a medium wedge bag. So eventually I'll learn how to make wedge bags because I still owe one to Angie. I'll get it to you one day, I promise. I have not used the fabric. It's saving the fabric for that bag that I'll figure out. Another one is sock minis, so little minis for her blanket from all over the world. And that one is actually getting a lot of attention. So she's gotten one, I think, from France, and she's getting one from Portugal. So that's really cool. So if you have any minis and you're somewhere that's overseas, or even she's even collecting each individual state, so as soon as I have a good Michigan one, I'll send her a Michigan mini. So I don't have any minis though, because I just don't have a huge collection of yarn, so I'm working on it. Lastly, in podcast news, there's a new podcast. It's Mandy Pinecone Crafts, and you've heard me talk about Mandy Pinecone frequently because she used to be just a friend of the podcast. Now she's entered the ranks of fellow podcaster. So she's got 2 episodes up, and she's on YouTube. And she's got a Ravelry group, and I think she's got a giveaway going on already for one of those knot bags by the Tangled Skein CA. So I will link all her information in my show notes, and you can check her out and join her group and watch her podcasts and enter to win a bag. And then you can come back here in February and enter to win a bag again. So Sue's bags are making the podcast rounds, so which is really cool. So they're really cool bags. And that is podcast news. I did it. Oh, there she goes. There she goes. Okay. All right, we're going to pause it before we start a new segment. All right, now they have food, so see how long that holds them off. So on to knitting. I finished my socks, as I mentioned last week. I finished everyone's socks. We all wore them for Christmas, so I'm going to put a pretty picture of us wearing our cute socks because it was fun. My husband is jealous. He's like, everyone got socks but me. I didn't have enough yarn. I only had enough for me and the kids. So I'm already got a plan for next year to make socks for everyone because, of course, my socks will still fit next year. The kids' socks won't fit next year. So then, essentially, I should just start over and make everyone socks. Because I'm probably not going to find 4 skeins of jingle. There's 2 skeins of jingle for D-Stash, the Knit Picks Felici, for $20 because she's charging like $10 for the yarn and then $10 for shipping, which is ridiculous. So I'm not doing that. So I need to find 6 skeins of reasonably priced yarn in a Christmas color. So if you have any ideas, I'd love to hear it. Because the Felici is a good deal if they had a Christmas color current. Because, you know, $5 a skein is pretty good, or $5.50, whatever it is. But times 6, you know, that adds up. So If you have any ideas for some Christmas themed inexpensive yarn, I've kind of looked around at Patent Croy. I don't see any good Christmas colors. I don't know, I have to wait till next fall to see if they come out. So, but ideally I'd like to get my hands on some whenever, sooner than later. So should have gotten water. But anyways, they're done. I'm excited. They turned out cute. Everyone wore them. And so we'll start thinking about next year's Christmas socks for everybody. I've never made socks for my husband either, so I probably should try out something else first. So I got a year to figure it out. Still working on trying to make a pair for my feet. I'm getting closer. So swatching. I've been doing some swatching. So I did a swatch for my sweater that I'm going to be doing for camp. So this is the Knit Picks Brava acrylic worsted. This was done on a size 9, and it was washed and well, I air dried it because that's what I would do with a sweater. I did not knit it in a round, which now talking to friend Jen, what I talk to all the time, she suggested I probably should do it in the round because my gauge might be a little different. So I'll probably just do a quickie round in the round and just compare it to this and see what I get, because this is like perfect gauge. So if it's a little smaller, if it's a little tighter, that's fine. I'm okay with that. It's pretty drapey. I almost wonder if it's a little too drapey, but so maybe I do want it a little tighter because it's be a form-fitting sweater. So I don't know. I have no idea. I've only made one sweater. I can't wear it because it's too itchy, because the yarn I got I didn't think was going to be so itchy. So round 2. But this was a fairly inexpensive yarn. It was on sale and it's super soft and it's supposed to be pretty durable, so I'm excited to try it out. And it's washable, so yeah, because my other sweater it's a alpaca blend, so it's gotta lay it out flat to dry, and it's huge, and yeah, hand wash it. I've also swatched for my hitchhiker, but I didn't keep it. I just kind of did a half swatch and what's in here? Did half a swatch and then took it out when it was done. But there's, yeah, so there's the yarn all caked up all pretty. This is the Love Knots Unicorn Poop, which will be the hitchhiker poop along with Jen and whoever else is using unicorn poop and doing a hitchhiker. It's a hitchhiker poop along or something. I don't know. Unofficial along. No prizes, no nothing. We're just doing it together just because. I need to swatch for another shawl, the Silver by Lisa Much. I was going to do that, and I'll show you in my stash what I'm going to do that with. So that was it. So not a lot of knitting. And my blanket, I got my sock yarn blanket. I haven't touched it, but it's here in my stitched together 4G bag. I've cast on a square that I either need to knit it today or I need to just pull it out and recast it on tomorrow for camp. So I haven't decided. So speaking of camp, I'm talking about camp a lot. I'm going to show you my projects. I'm going to just kind of list off. I have a list spreadsheet. So these are all the projects I'm going to work on. So I'm doing a preemie hat, a hand-painted preemie hat by Amanda Schwabe. She's a featured designer for January, so I get bonus points. And it's a hat, which I get bonus points for. I'm going to do the Silver by Lisa Much. And I'm going to be doing a bow tie ascot. And these are all for the next 3 months, so the bow tie ascot by Pam Powers is going to be coming up. And a handbrake cowl by Kay Jones. That. I trying not to give away pattern stuff, sorry. I didn't print out the first page of that, so trying to save paper. The Carrie Shawl, which is by Megan Sanders, and she's also a featured designer for February. So I'll be doing that in February, getting that finished in February. I'm going to try to use hand spun for that, so I'm very excited. Hoping it works out. I actually had a discussion with her about it months ago about using my hand spun, so I'm hoping it will work out. Because it might just not be enough. I might have to up a knitting needle size, make sure I have enough yardage. The Hitchhiker, the brick sweater. The Hitchhiker is by Martina Beam. I can't remember how to Beam. I always want to say Bem, but maybe it's Beam. The brick, which is a free Ravelry pattern by so and so. She doesn't have her name on that. Claire something. And then CC's Vanilla Cappuccino Socks, which is Java Pearl, and also the Geeky Girls Knit podcast, which is another new podcast I've checked out because she's in my team. So these are just a vanilla sock. So it was a free pattern for signing up for her newsletter. So it's like awesome. So I get bonus points because she's a featured designer for March, and a pair of socks that I was going to do anyways. And they're just vanilla socks, so that'll be perfect for my stripey yarn. And then my sock yarn blanket. And that's all I have on my list so far. That obviously could change at any time, but I figured it's a short game plan. So, sewing. I've been working on a little prototype for a Notions pouch, just for the heck of it. So just a little, ooh boy, that blows out, but just a little pouch. Keep scissors, needles, stitch markers in, snaps, and then I make sure to fold it over so that the seam folds over so that nothing will fall out. So nothing should potentially fall out. And it's just a little pouch. So a little snap. They're fun to make. So I might make those. And if I ever do an Etsy shop, I say that all the time, I'll do a bag, a pouch, maybe in a DPN holder together, a little kit. And that was it for sewing. Spinning. I actually touched my spinning wheel. Huh, just once. But it was like for a good hour or so. So I got through another color of my 4-ounce braid. So I'm probably, I might only be halfway done. I don't know how much this weighs, but I have the tail end of the brown, dark brown, and I have black and the gray. Kind of 2 colors of gray there. So getting there. So I finished all the orange and the dark brown for the most part. I get a little bit of chunk of dark brown here, and then it goes to kind of black. I'm really hoping to finish this. I can't neglect this for 3 months. I've got to finish this. So in pockets of time, I'm going to have to jump on there if I need a break from knitting or something. So that's all for spinning. So stash. Here's another big section to go on. So Christmas came and Santa brought me a big box of yarn. So I'm just going to dig right in. So I got the Knit Pick Brava worsted in the Hunter Green. This was for my sweater, so I got a sweater quantity. So I got 6 or 7 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Good. Just to make sure. Hoping I only need 6, but I got 7. And then I also got a sweater quantity, so 7 of the Brava Knit Picks Brava worsted in the eggplant color. Ideally, I like this color a little better, and I would do it first, but if I finish the sweater in March, it's green, that's the color of the month, and I'll get bonus points. So, I'm going for the bonus points. Actually, I could get bonus points for my socks, because they are green, so maybe I could do the purple. But I already swatched for the green, I'm just going with the green. I'll save the purple for when I know more about sweaters after I do another sweater. How's that sound? So there's the sweater quantities, and then all of the Felici. Not literally, but a lot of it. So I got the candy jar, 2 of them, the rainbow, and if you saw, there was only 1 pair of socks on that list, 2 of the rainbow. I'm taking a break on socks. I probably will end up casting out a pair of socks in there somewhere, but I figured I'm not counting them in my camp directly as a must-do until the 3rd month, because it's a bonus, or I get the designer points and it's for your feet, so I get all the extra points for it. But I'll probably end up casting out another pair of socks in between there. Fanciful. And can kind of get shadows in there somewhere, but the lighting in here is odd. But I had to do one more with a tree. The Madrigal. This is my favorite one. Well, almost my favorite one. That was my favorite one out on, besides these last two. Baker Street. So Sherlock Holmes reference. Got 3 of those. So this pretty brown. So I could make my husband socks out of these. They're kind of manly colors. Oh, but I don't know. I like those. And then 3 of the Time Traveler. Of course, I had to get the Doctor Who ones. I missed them last time, so reminiscent of the scarf colors. So then I had my little nitpick snafu and they sent me a credit. So I ended up buying 2 more of the Madrigal that I gifted to Jen, the Uncreative Crafter. And then I had a little extra. I bought this Stroll fingering, which I've never used Stroll, Make Believe. So some pretty blues and purple greens. So not sure what I'm going to do with that, but it's pretty. So that was my Christmas yarn. Also, which I mentioned 2 weeks ago, I was doing yarn dyeing with Chasing Acorns, and that's when she gave me the bag to give away. And I did the custom colorway Storm Coast for Jen. And what I didn't mention is I made 2 of them because I also gifted one to Jen. It was her colorway. How could I not give her the yarn? So here it is all caked up. So I already sent her hers, so I don't remember which one I showed to you either. If I showed hers or mine, they both were pretty much pretty similar, but looks all pretty caked up. I did a swatch, if I remember. I'll put the swatch picture in here. So I'm excited to make something with this. It is MCN too. It's nice and soft. So I'm not sure what to do with it. My first Instagram yarn wish came. I think it was my first wish. It was just indie dyed yarn. It's very generic. And it couldn't be more perfect. But I finally got it. It came from the UK. It's from Polly Orange. Her website is pollyorange.com. It's merino nylon sock. Black grape. So this lovely purples and some blacks in there. I mean, I love purple. I think purple is one of my favorite. Purple and pink are my favorite colors. So this is essentially my favorite color. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good representation on there. So it's just very fun. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with that yet, but I'll find something. And then that came with this little ornament that I had sitting in my bedroom, and the other night I looked over, there was something on the table. It glows in the dark. Like, oh, it's a little glow in the dark ornament. It's a snowflake, and then a little snowflake stitch marker. So that was very nice, and this sweet little card with a smile on it. I like the card. She said the yarn is Polly Orange, and she is one of my favorites. Hope you like it too. So I'm sure I will love it. And then when I started my Yarny Wish thread on my own podcast group, I asked for Madtosh Light because I had a sample in my sock yarn blanket and it was super soft and I love it. And I would love to knit a whole project with it, and it is single ply, so I know it's going to be a little finicky as far as care for it, and it might be pilly, but I had to try it. So someone offered to send me a skein of the Madtosh Light. She said, did you want me to surprise you with the color, or did you want me to tell you? I said I like surprises. So again, it's a great color. It's super dark blues with purples in it. So I mean, it couldn't be more me than, you know, this couldn't get any better. So this is what the silver is going to be. So I'm using this right off. So I'm going to wind this up, cake it up, and we'll do the silver. I should have enough. Looking at the project page for the silver, a lot of people have used this yarn and it hasn't seemed to have been a problem. So I will swatch to see if I get gauged. I might need to step up a needle or something. I seem to be pretty spot on with the gauges. I seem to be a pretty average knitter, but you never know. So I'll swatch that. And so thank you for that. I'm also getting a large sweater bag from Brandy, who is a friend of the podcast and a fellow VKNer. So I'm very excited for that. She's going to make me a zippered sweater bag, so with cats on it. So I'm a very happy lady. I'm a very thankful lady. So thank you to everybody who's offered to send me stuff and just been a good friend to the podcast. So that's all. So week in review. Christmas crazy. So I last saw you the day before Christmas Eve. So then Christmas Eve, we went to the in-laws' house. We had a special visit from Santa Claus. I'll put in a picture of that. That was kind of nuts. Basically, yeah, Santa just showed up and came to visit. So that was pretty cool. The kids were pretty excited and they got presents from Santa, so that was fun. On Christmas Day, my dad and my grandmother came over for breakfast, and then, well, first we did all the presents with the kids, and then my dad came over for breakfast, and then later that afternoon, my mother and stepdad and aunt and uncle and great uncle all came over for dinner. Turkey dinner, whole shebang, so I did that, and I was starting to feel kind of yucky. Emily and my husband were both sick last week, so I knew it was coming. So Saturday, I pretty much just lounged in my PJs, I took a nap, I was a wreck. Sunday, I had to buck it up and host another party for the my dad's side of the family, so all my aunts and uncles, my grandma again, so they all came, a couple of my cousins, and so we all came over and had another party, and it was just kind of, I just mustered through it, but I had fun. It was fun. I was pretty exhausted by the end of the day. So Monday through Wednesday, today's Wednesday, right? I don't even know. Big blur. This is the first day I've gotten dressed this week since Monday. So Monday and Tuesday we're spent in my pajamas. We try not to watch a lot of TV, but we watch more TV than we should have. And we've been just eating leftovers. We're officially out of food now, so I need to go shopping. But I'm starting to feel better today. I still sniffly and whatever, but I'm actually feeling more human. And tomorrow is New Year's Eve. So we got another party to go to with the in-laws, and it's going to be a sleepover, and I don't know if I'm going to make it till midnight. I've been going to bed pretty early. I actually stayed up till 10 last night, so we'll see if I can make it up till midnight. But I will have a lot of knitting to do, because finally I can start knitting. After 7 p.m. tomorrow, I can start knitting again, so maybe that'll keep me going. So with that, hope everyone has a awesome new year. I hope the new year brings great things, and if you got any resolutions, feel free to share your resolutions. I need to lose weight. I've gained now 11 pounds over the last few months. That's gotta stop. So I need to jump on the diet bandwagon for the new year and lose some weight again. Stop eating so much crap. We have so much candy and cakes and treats in the house that we gotta get rid of because everyone brings over stuff for the holidays, and tomorrow's gonna be just as bad. So tomorrow's the last hurrah. So I'm gonna gain another 5 pounds tomorrow, and then I'm gonna have to lose it all. So my goal is to get on the treadmill for 30 minutes a day as the start. So walking, running, whatever, just 30 minutes on the treadmill, get into a routine, and I'll start running, and then maybe I'll start incorporating workout videos and go from there. So that's got to start somewhere, and of course we're going to have to eat better, which is the worst part because I like food. So other resolutions are just keep knitting. I don't know, trying to learn a new technique. I don't know, I haven't had anything specific. My health is really priority. My husband's gained a lot of his weight back too, so both of us need to get on that bandwagon. So that's that. Again, I thank everybody for sticking with me, for hanging out and letting me come chat your ear off. So I think we're at like 40 minutes. I don't know, I stopped it and started it again, so not too bad. So for the regularly scheduled podcast, I will bid you farewell. If you are interested in winter camp, just stay tuned. Winter camp. It's camp time. Okay, so I am going to try to keep this somewhat short, but I want to be thorough. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to kind of get into everything about camp. I know you've probably seen videos before from Sarah, the Canadian knitter, who is hosting camp and everything, and maybe your team leaders have done videos, but we'll just kind of all-encompassing. So, there is a special Ravelry group, obviously. If you are new to the whole camp thing, I will tell you that cabin signups are closed, but there is a day camp option still available, so look for the Team Puffin thread to sign up, and that kind of goes at your own pace. My legs are getting sore here. Sorry. That Team Puffin goes at their own pace. They have separate prizes, separate drawings, separate everything. It's kind of, and it's hosted by Mandy Pancone Crafts, who has her own podcast as well. So if you want to still check it out, please come join in Team Puffin. But for everyone who has been assigned a cabin, you should know who your cabin is by now. Some cabin chatter threads have been started by me, such as Team Panda. I am not your leader. Little Panda 518 is the leader of Team Panda, and she introduces herself later in the group. But I think I've been getting a lot of messages with questions and stuff because I started the thread, so sorry for that confusion. We were just trying to get everything organized, and I started a bunch of the team threads. So, oh, my legs are falling asleep. So anyways, that's what I get for sitting on the floor. So, get that out of the way. The hashtag for camp. So anytime you post on Instagram, or even if you use hashtags or tags in your Ravelry project page, the generic hashtag for winter camp is TCK Winter Camp 2016. So try to use that as much as possible. There might be special drawings for bonus points and everything, or just to kind of follow along everybody's progress. How it works is for every 50 points, and I'll talk about points, you'll get one ticket into the drawing for prizes. All the prizes will be drawn at the end. The team, the cabin with the most points at the end of the whole 3 months, as a group, will then be entered into a grand prize. So you could win a regular prize from just the tickets. So you can think of it as a lottery. So every 50 points you cash in for a lottery ticket. All those tickets go into the drawing. They're randomly selected for grand prizes, or for prizes. Now, then say Team Snow Leopard gets the most cabin points. Everyone in that cabin then gets put into the drawing for the grand prize. Even if you've already won another prize, because it's a whole separate drawing. So my points count. However, I am not eligible for prizes, but my points will count towards the cabin overall. All of us leaders have a little side bet going. Whoever's cabin wins, then the rest of them will combined and buy someone a present. So is the plan. So here's the point system. Every 50 grams of knitted item, knitting or crochet, super bulky or bulky weight gets 5 points. Worsted or Aran weight gets 9 points. And this is all listed in the team FAQ thread. DK weight gets 10 points. Sport 12, fingering 14, lace 16. Then anything under 50 grams. Super bulky bulkies 2, worsted Aran 4, DK 5, sport 6, fingering 7, lace 8. So, say I knit a bulky hat for 150 grams. So I weigh it out, minus any tassels, pom-poms, extras, because that's not knitting, so the knitting part. So 150 grams bulky. So 50 times 3, so 150 divided by 50 is 3. So 350 grams sections times the 5 points. That's 15 points. Oh, and it's a hat, and I finished it in January. I get an extra 20 bonus points for that. So there are bonus points. Every month there is a theme. Every month there is a color. And every month there are featured designers. So you get up, and you can get each one time. So you can make one hat of a certain color by a featured designer one time for 60 points. So 60 points max, bonus points. So January is for your head. Colors are blue or purple. And the featured designers are listed in a featured designer thread to check out. February is for your neck. Red, pink, or orange are the color choices. March is for your hands or your feet. Green or yellow are the color choices. So again, you can get up to 180 bonus points total, 60 per month. 20 for color, 20 for theme, 20 for designer, one time only. So you can't make 3 hats that are blue by a featured designer and get all bonus points for all of them. You get the bonus points for one time. So I've already planned out all my projects so that I have one color project, one designer project, one theme project per month. So I'm maximizing all my bonus points. There are free patterns in some of these designers that are featured. So you can use the free patterns because, you know, some people don't like, I don't have a ton of money to buy on patterns. And patterns are relatively inexpensive still, but I found ones that were free that I liked, that fit what I was going to make anyways. So it just worked for me. And one of the designers already had the pattern, so that was even better. But there are coupon codes each month for the patterns. So right now January's are up, so check out the January coupon codes. And hopefully the February, March ones will be out soon too. No works in progress allowed. They have to be started. Our cast on time is December 31st, 2015 at 7 p.m. your time. So if you are on the other side of the world, your time 7 p.m. So it's going to be different. Some will be early, some will be later. That's fine. There is a special Instagram only drawing. If you Sorry, that was my daughter. They're watching television. There's a special drawing. If you cast on New Year's Eve after 7 p.m. and post on Instagram, use the hashtag TCKCampCO for cast on 2016. And Sarah of the Canadian Knitter Podcast will draw a winner January 1st for 50 points. So an instant entry into the prizes. You need to contact Sarah to make sure that she can follow you on Instagram. If you're not public, if you're private on Instagram, you need to get with Sarah and make sure she follows you on Instagram so she can see your posts, because she cannot see one's hashtags that are private. So contact her. She's True Canuck Girl on Ravelry, hosting Team Polar Bear. You can contact her in the mess hall group chatter. You can message her on Ravelry. You can probably message her on Instagram as the Canadian Knitter. If you want to enter into that giveaway for the bonus points, you got to go talk to her. Project pages are required for all points to count. Ask your cabin leader for any help with project pages. I'm going to attempt to do a computer demo of how to set up a project page for anyone who needs help. Hopefully I can get that done today or tomorrow. We'll see. If not, this weekend I'll get to it. So but any of us can help you. All of us project leaders know how to make project pages. If you want to tag your project pages, you can tag them with the hashtag I mentioned before, TCK Winter Camp 2016, or your team. My team hashtag is TCK Team Snow Leopard. So then there's TCK Team Snowy Owl, TCK Team fill in whatever your team is. That just helps you find things on Ravelry and see others in your group on Ravelry, but it's not necessary. But a project page is required, photographs, and make sure you weigh your object, and make sure the yarn weight. And we are going off the yarn weight of the ball band. If it's hand spun, try your best to do a double wraps per inch measurement and go off the chart on Ravelry. That's kind of how we're doing it, to keep things fair. If you have any questions, always contact your camp leader. And again, double check to see who your cabin leader is, because if I started the post, I'm not necessarily your cabin leader. I'm Team Snow Leopard. Sorry. But I can help you too, of course. I'm not going to not help you, so I will help anybody. Blanket squares will count. 1 point per square, 1 point per zigzag, 1 point per repeat, whatever kind of blanket you're making. Doesn't matter how big it is. That was the question that has been asked. Are my blankets like this whole skein of yarn? Well, fair is fair. Blankets, 1 square, 1 point. So if you have a giant blanket you're working on, well, you might want to just, I don't know, I'm not going to say not work on it, but it's going to count for 1 point. So I apologize if that's kind of a downside, but That's just the way to be fair, because we said blanket squares, one point. You have to post a picture of your blanket before any progress is made on it for these points to count. So that starting January 1st, there will be a post for blankets, pre-progress blankets. So post a picture of your blanket and then knit to your heart's content on your blanket, and then we can be sure to track how many squares you've made. I currently have a square I either need to knit or pull off the needle because I literally just cast it on like a month ago, but it's just cast on, that's it. I haven't knit on it at all. So, but to be fair, I will pull it out, take a picture of my blanket, or I'll knit it up real quick today. So we'll see, I haven't decided yet. Kind of itching to knit, so I'll probably just knit it up today just to have something to knit on. Okay. Team threads. I actually had my iPad to the ready here. 1 post per person in your team thread. So each object doesn't get its own post. You get 1 post that you will continually update. And again, I'm going to try to make a tutorial on project pages and getting it into the thread for those that may not be as tech savvy or familiar with Ravelry. But I will show you my example. Okay. So I started my finished objects post. So each person, there's 30 people in the cabin, there should be 30 posts in the thread, and that's it. And basically, come up a little closer to the CATT. So this is just my sample. I'm going to delete these and add my project as they get done, but I just wanted a sample here. Of course, it's going to be blown out. So I started and I posted, and you can magic link your projects. If you copy the link on your project page of your project and then link it in the post, it'll ask you, do you want to post the picture? And you say yes, and it'll post the picture for you. So there's one, and then I came back and I put another one, and then underneath I put my points. And do this to the best of your ability. I will come through and try to double check as well, but so I have my Jingle Bell socks, which were fingering weight, 80 grams, which I just guessed. I didn't actually officially weigh them because they don't count. Which is worth 21 points, because that's fingering weight. That's the 14 points plus the 7 points. Is that right? 15, 16, 17, 18, no bonus points, because that wouldn't have counted for any bonus points. So total points, 21 points. So then I got my second project, kind of a worm hat. Super bulky, 100 grams. Again, these are just generic numbers because these will be gone. Worth 10 points. Bonus points for being a hat, so 20 points. So total points, 30 points. Grand total, so I put at the bottom, my grand total of all my projects on the page now are 51 points. And in parentheses, I said that equals 1 ticket towards prizes, because every 50 points equals a ticket. So if you can keep your thread as neat and orderly like that, that will help tremendously. But again, I'm here to help you. I'm pretty sure I can go in and edit people's posts. So, and then I'll try to do a tutorial on how I actually went in there and did it. So, let's see. Lots of prizes to be won. There's a prize thread, and with lots of pictures in it. I will show you the one I had here, which is the yarn by Chasing Acorns. It's sparkly. It's called Firefox. It was kind of based off the Mozilla Firefox logo, so it's kind of the blue and the orange and of the fox and the earth or whatever, but it's Chasing Acorns. It's beautiful. She has another one that's called something else, but it's got the same colors in it, and I told her save it for me. So I'm hoping to send her money for this soon. But this is a Superwash Merino Stellina blend. 426 yards, 115 grams. Fingering weight. Okay, sorry. So that's prize. That is a prize. And there's other prizes. I'm going to donate a bag. I don't know which bag yet. So but that's an example. Actually, I wasn't sure if I was... I have an example. I have this bag with the boxy bottom, and then I have the flat bag. And that kind of looks just like the pouch. I think I have that. I think that was the one I was going to give away in the thread, but whatever. A bag. Lots of other bags and yarn and notions and patterns. They all will be given away at the end of camp. Again, each 50 points earns you 1 ticket into the drawing, and it's completely random. So obviously it's good to get a lot of points, but it's not the most points wins. However, the most points in the cabin will then be entered into a drawing. So maybe I'll try to do something special for the person who knits the most points in my cabin. I'll send something special, so I can do that. I can do whatever I want. So if you're in Team Snow Leopard and you knit the most points for our cabin, I will give you a prize. Maybe a bag, because that's all I know how to do. Unless I get into yarn dyeing, which is a hope of mine. Each cabin leader has 100 points to give out every month. Bonus points just to give out. Have a point, have a point, have a point, whatever you want. I haven't decided what I was going to do. I was going to do a drawing maybe in the chatter thread. So if you are on Team Snow Leopard, keep chatting away, and maybe I'll do a random drawing for points. But I haven't decided what I want to do. So do I want to like give out big points, like 25 points a week once? Like to one person? Because that's like, you know, half a ticket. Or do I want to do like 10 points here, 10 points there, so more people get points? So if you have any opinions, please chime in. Been recording for a while now. So please chime in with that. I think that's it. I hope I've covered everything. Again, I think a tutorial on setting up project pages and going into your finished object threads will be something that's really useful. I mean, you guys all pretty much probably know the rules, know how this works. Welcome to Team Snow Leopard. I'm very excited. You guys have been very chatty, which I love. If, again, any questions, feel free to ask. Even if you're not on my team, feel free to ask me any questions. And yeah, that's all I have for camp information. So I'm excited to cast on tomorrow. I'm hoping to cast on it tomorrow at 7 p.m. I know I'm hoping to cast on something. Probably going to cast on my hitchhiker, maybe a hat. Probably not going to touch my sweater yet because I kind of need concentration for that. So hope everyone's going to cast on at 7 p.m. and have a good New Year's and welcome to camp.